Friends, it's Thursday. You know what time it is. It's time for Thriving Thursdays. I'm your host, Marquise Martin Hayes. It is my pleasure, privilege, and honor to show up for you and connect on Thursdays. Why? To empower you to move beyond just existing, into living, into experiencing, into thriving in your life. Everything we do on this show is centered around you. What do you mean, Marquise? I want you to have access to tools, to wisdom, to insight, the same stuff that I get access to with my friends that help me learn to thrive in my life. I want to share that with you so you can thrive in yours. When you're thriving, everybody in your home does better. Not the haters. We don't get into all that. When you're truly thriving, your enemies have to come around and ask for jobs. They have to come around and ask for help because we don't really have any enemies. You'll learn about that today with my guest. She'll break that down. She has a saying that's like gold and magic. And every time we talk, I remember that phrase because it's so true. But before we get started, as always, I'd like to thank my sponsors. The sponsor I'd like to thank first is Willis Consulting and Counseling. They support the message of Thriving Thursdays, and they are a Chicago-based counseling practice that offers services to partners, individuals, and families. They offer services via virtual appointments and in person if you live in Chicago or Naperville. Everyday people, even the ones who listen to Thriving Thursday, sometimes need a tune-up on their mental wellness, and that's exactly what you can get at WCC. You can learn more about them at their website at www.williscc.com. That's www.williscc.com. Or you can text them directly from Facebook Messenger. Willis Consulting is a proud sponsor of Thriving Thursdays. I'd also like to talk about my skincare. I've been using a new regimen lately. It's all, of course, it's part of Rodan and Fields. You know that. I've been using the Soothe regimen. If you've got the type of skin where you have to worry all about sensitive skin and things like that, this is for you. This is what I use. I've been using it as a test just to see how my skin feels because I typically use the other line, the Redefine line, but I want to try this out and make sure I enjoyed it just as much as I did the others, and I do. So check out the Soothe line. If you want to learn more about Rodan and Fields, let me know. The one thing I want to share with you is this. Step 4. This one here, I like this one. Why? Because it has SPF in it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all about the melanin. I've got plenty of it, and I love it. I want more. But what I learned is that although I have melanin, I have to be just as careful because we don't attract skin cancer as rapidly or as often. But according to research, if we do, we tend to perish a lot faster. So I do protect my skin on a day-to-day basis using Rodan and Fields products. And then last but not least, how many of you guys have seen those massage machines? It's got the pointer. And it's like pointing. You're like, it would be nice, but it's pointing into my body. It's plugging into me. Well, Vibe Massage by Team Doctors, they're also a proud sponsor. Vibe Massage. I've owned one of their units for probably, I think, 7 years now. I have a standing unit, but now they've come out with a home mobile unit. It's got the same broad pad that gets below the muscles into the spindle cells, which helps your muscles release. Vibe Massage. If you want to learn more, inbox me and I can tell you all about it. Team Doctors, proud sponsor of Thriving Thursdays. Okay, enough of all the paying the bill stuff because that's got to be done. I want to slow it down and I want to jump into a moment. So if you're watching or when you're watching, prepare yourself. Just breathe because you're about to have your soul empowered. I like to bring in my guest, Laisa, who we know as Soul. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing fine, doing good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm so glad we finally got this figured out. So many people were waiting to connect with you. They're like, oh my God, when's she coming on? She's so beautiful. She's so talented. Oh my God. And so all these wonderful things and people have been anticipating this episode and we finally figured it out. Most people don't know, but you're based out of
Yeah, like
Switzerland, right?
yeah, I'm from Switzerland and I'm a little bit nervous. It's like the first time that I'm doing an interview in English, so I'm trying to
Oh
do
my
my best.
gosh. Thank you. What's your primary, for the audience purposes, what's your primary language that you use on a day-to-day basis?
It's German. Yeah.
German.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now you told me there's two kinds of German. Is that right?
Yes. There's
Which,
like a Swiss German that we speak in Switzerland. That's like a dialect,
yes.
and we call it High German, and that's the German that you speak in Germany or even in Switzerland too. Like in the school,
Okay.
we learn that, but yeah, we usually talk in Swiss German.
That's cool. So most people don't know, if they haven't read, you speak over 7 different languages, and you're actually not even a native of Switzerland. Where are you from?
And my mom is from Brazil, yeah,
Yeah.
and my dad is Swiss.
And your
So,
dad's Swiss. So you're a hybrid. And so I wanted to bring Soul on. We met in Puerto Escondido, one of my favorite places on the planet. And this beautiful spirit just showed up. And we all just stopped and connected, and love flowed and life flowed. And we knew it was a God moment. We knew it was a universal moment. And so it was such a pleasure to connect then, and to now share you with my world, my people, and people I get to touch and influence. So with all that said, let me just be quiet for a second, and I'll let you introduce yourself. And you can tell us about your women's coaching, your healing. You can start wherever you want, but allow the people to get an introduction of who you are so they stay tuned for the next 40, 45 minutes or so.
so yeah, um, I am. I'm trying to figure it out who I am because it's
Mm-hmm.
like this body, and I'm 32 years old, and it's been a really journey with myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the question that I ask myself all the time: who am I?
Mm-hmm.
And yes, like I am so much more than I think. But if you want to know it like regular, I'm a primary teacher. I have working with the women's, like I do women's circle together
Yes.
with my friend Sarah. And I'm also a Zumba instructor. And yeah, I love to teach. And I do a little bit of modeling too, but yeah, but not so much as the other jobs. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about your desire to teach, whether it's Zumba, whether it's class, whether it's with women. Where did that desire come from, and why teaching?
Yes, like if you would connect everything together, there's like a red line, and everything is like supposed to learn a little bit more about yourself,
Mm-hmm.
to feel a lot of joy. I think that's so, so important, especially
Yeah.
in this time that we feel so much joy because
Yeah.
did you know that a normal people in their life they have just 150 150 hours in one lifetime? That's so less. So I
Did you
think
say they only smile 150 hours
150 days for a whole life
of what? Smiling?
of laughing.
That's it?
That's it. No more. Like a woman, she's always searching something in her bag. She takes like 3 years of her life to search something in her bag. And that's
So,
incredible. Like that's
wow. Wait.
nothing.
So, in my whole lifetime, only 150 days smiling.
Like regular, I think you laugh a little bit more. Like you
Well,
you
I do.
like
I
to
try
laugh
to.
like me. Like
I
yeah.
try to.
But the most of people they don't laugh so much during the day,
Wow.
and that's so sad. And I think that everybody is chasing actually happiness or to be like
Mm,
joyful. And
yeah.
I really try to get this in my job with the kids or with the women's circle or with Zumba to connect with this happiness. And yeah, my vision is really to connect with people in a way that they understand that that we are all connected,
Yeah.
like that the wave is not separate from the ocean, that we are all one, like the birds when they fly in the sky.
Yes.
I I really love this feeling, and yeah, these are very, very special moments for me in my life.
That's cool. You have a saying every time we get a chance to connect. Could you share that with the people and what it means so that they might adopt it for their life?
Exactly.
The one where you say, I am you.
Yeah, and you're me.
Could you explain that to everyone?
Yeah, it's like, let's explain it like that. Um, I have this vision, or I have this idea that we all come from the source, from a
Yes.
place. You
Yes.
can call it heaven, you can call it whatever it
Yeah.
fits for you,
Yeah.
but it's like this energy of high, high level, like this energy of frequency of love, of joy, of happiness, of all
Mm-hmm.
this good, good stuff
Mm-hmm.
that lives inside us.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it came the angel and he asked to you, hey, are you ready to go in a journey, to go on a vacation somewhere where it's really crazy? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you will have other feelings. You will also have feelings like fear. You will have feelings like anger. You will have feelings like jealousy.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there will be time that you will notice and that you will remember that you are loved and that you
Mm-hmm.
are one with the frequency. It's like the
Mm-hmm.
same frequency when you die, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And we said yes, let's take this all-inclusive hotel and do this experience because it was too boring just to stay in this frequency and to be all one. There's like
Mm-hmm.
fish in the sea when they swim, they're not talking to each other. They're just like one.
Yeah.
And so we have this experience to be one as a soul, to
Yeah.
recognize how unique we are,
Mm-hmm.
or how unique you are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why there's sometimes that we feel that, or when you think about something and the same person says the same thing, and that's the moment where you recognize, wow, that's incredible. Like, we're so connected.
Yeah.
We feel this synchronizing, and you're having the same thoughts, and you recognize your soul in another person,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
That
that's
that that
amazing.
is that's huge because we're so often in the mindset of proving or competition, I guess coming from a place of not understanding
Mm,
that we're connected already. So then we look for things that disconnect us as to self identify as not understanding your uniqueness fits with someone else's uniqueness as compared to needing to be something better than.
exactly.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
have a question for you regarding happiness.
Mm,
You talked about how in your work, you, with the children, with women, you try to create that sense of self and happiness. Do you have some tips, maybe two or three things that you use that we as your audience right now that we can start looking into because clearly we need to laugh more. Based on the research you've read about, laugh in total, laugh about 150 days. Even a happy person probably only gets 1 year, but that's 1 year out of 78 to 100 years. That's not a lot of time.
yeah.
Anything that you can offer us or coach us with?
Like, something that's for me so important is gratitude,
Mm,
because it's so interesting to notice that the most important things in your life are these things,
yeah.
that it's simple and it's available for everyone, for
Mhm.
every soul. And so it's about to be conscious about it and to recognize it and to use it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I do every morning is like to be thankful. I put my alarm clock like 15 or 10 minutes before I wake up. Then I know, okay, I have like 10 or 15 minutes of gratitude now for myself. And I put my hand on my chest where I can feel my heart.
Yes.
And the first thing that I am happy is, wow, my heart is beating. I'm so happy. I'm I'm alive, you know. That's
Yeah.
one more day for myself to
Yeah.
express myself, to live, to have a chance to be better than I was yesterday, to be
Yeah.
happier than I was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes down, and I'm feeling happiness to have two legs and arms, and that I
Yeah.
have the skin that protects me from so much, that I have my eyebrows,
Yeah.
that when I sweat, it doesn't go directly to my eyes, that it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt, that
Yeah.
I have so much more. Like there's so much to be happy, to breathe, to have
Yeah.
a house, to have a glass, to drink water,
Yeah.
and so it goes on. And then when you connect with that, it's very interesting that you will always have this kind of situation to be more thankful. And
Yes.
it's very, very interesting too that they figured it out. I think it was Stanford University that
Okay.
every emotion makes you like addicted. So
Okay.
the more you feel this emotion, the more you will have the you will feel like the
The
necessity.
same. So if
Yeah,
you're
yes,
feeling happy, you're going to feel more happy.
yes. For
Yeah.
example, someone that is always on stress, they go to vacation. It's a wonderful place. I don't know, a nice hotel and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
But he will always, or she will always find something to feel the stress because she
Mm.
needs it. It's like addiction. She will need this type of emotion
Got it.
because it's the habit.
Right. Right. That's interesting. It's interesting because to me, what you're speaking about, and for those of you who just joined, this is Laisa. We call her Soul because that's what she represents, the sun. And English is not her primary language. It's one of seven she speaks, just in case you didn't know. And so back to you though. So what's interesting is that not only the emotion we tend to feel more regularly, we get to we are naturally cultivating it, meaning we have a choice to be grateful. We have a choice to be happy. And the more often we choose it, based on the research out of Stanford that you read, the more often we choose it, the more we will actually feel it. So the idea of fake it till you make it has a little bit of truth built into it.
Yeah.
I know Tony Robbins talks about to smile and change your energy, to stretch your arms out and just smile ear to ear and just look up and smile for like 30 seconds or so. And he said, before long, you start to actually feel like smiling, like kind of like what you're talking about based on the research.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
every morning you get up, you thank your body for your heart beating, which is
mhm,
huge because so many people haven't had that. You talked about you are grateful for your legs and having arms and can move them, which I know personally, having a family member who doesn't have that ability. One of my buddies who's watching the show right now, for a season of time, his brother didn't have that ability. And so we
mhm,
take it for granted. We just think, oh, everyone does. Or the eyebrows. Some people don't have eyebrows. I remember seeing a woman probably a week ago whose face had been burned, but she was out living her life gratefully, not covered up, which I'm so thankful and grateful for that she was. But what it made me realize is all the stuff I take for granted, everyone doesn't have that available to them.
mhm,
And so for just a smidgen of a moment, I get to be grateful for it, like you
mhm,
talked about.
mhm.
But anyway, enough about me and what I think. What else, or is there something else you would offer that helps stimulate
Yes.
happiness for you?
Well, if you want to be happy, then you have to allow yourself to express your soul. And what
Mm,
I mean about expressing your soul is to open up a room in yourself
okay.
and see which emotions are here right now. What is it? And you allow it, like with dancing, with screaming. There is so much power about screaming and put everything out, also this anger. And in this society, it's so hidden, you can't
Mhm.
scream, you can't, yeah, you have just to be nice and you have to
Yeah.
be friendly, and
Yeah.
you cannot scream, you cannot be afraid or
Yeah.
whatever it is, but we are emotional human beings, and it's so important to allow yourself to express, because if you don't do it,
Hmm.
it will manifest in other ways,
Yeah.
like illness, and it was also very interesting. I was talking to a girl yesterday, and
Uh-huh.
she broke up with her boyfriend, like 2 weeks ago. And
Okay.
she was telling me, but I'm always just crying, when I'm feeling myself and when I'm allowing myself to express myself, I'm just crying and it doesn't help. And
Hmm.
it's not about getting into the story, because
Right.
the most of people, they go into the story and they
Yeah.
feel like victims.
Yes.
If
Yes.
you are a victim, you can change a lot. So it's very important to recognize that you are taking your responsibility to
Yes.
look into this emotion. And when you look into this emotion, it's about like, where is it? Like, where is this anger? Do I feel it here? Or do I feel it here in my chest?
Hmm.
Do I feel it in my stomach?
Hmm.
And what what does it make when I feel this feeling?
Okay.
Does it go somewhere else? Does it get stronger? Does it get less?
Hmm.
And to be present, to be very, very present, and to
Okay.
stay, allow you to stay in this emotion, and that helps so much. That's really deep healing.
Hmm.
And when you heal, you're happier.
It's good. So I have a question because you got me thinking, right, about those moments when we feel that sense of loss, the negative emotion per se. What if when they feel it and they are able to identify where they feel it or how it moves, what do they do with it? What's next?
Like, it's like the first thing is like to breathe,
Okay.
take a deep breath, and to allow yourself to to feel this feeling, to know it's okay. Nothing is gonna stay forever. So take
Right.
your time to
Yeah.
feel it,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
And to allow yourself, in this case that you're telling, like, oh, it's okay, it's
Hmm.
okay, like it was the situation, but I'm really present in this emotion.
Hmm.
What I can do, I will breathe, I will
Hmm.
look inside myself, and I
Hmm.
will see what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Is
will
there?
stay. I will stay with this. I will make a room for myself. I will
Okay.
be a best friend. I will take a time. I will not take drugs and go out and just, you know, turn out the TV and look what's gonna happen, and just say, oh, go away, because
Yeah.
life is gonna knock on your door and
Yeah.
say, hey, you remember this emotion 2 months ago or 2 weeks ago? It's
Mhm.
here because you didn't feel it. Like, it's gonna repeat and repeat, and that makes us so um, tired. It makes you
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah.
If you always have the same freaking problem, it's gonna make you tired. And so the best thing to heal it is to go through it.
Mm, it's good. Not avoid it. Go through it. One last question on that, because I'm sure there's other stuff you want to talk about. When when I think about that, sometimes my thought is, I want to tell people, okay, you got 24 hours or you got 1 month. Do you have an idea or recommendation of when it's gone too long and maybe they should seek outside help? Is there a certain amount of days or weeks, or I don't know? I'm just curious.
It's so individual. Like I've
Okay.
seen people, for example, that were sexually abused when they were a child.
Mm-hmm.
That takes a little bit longer because they are having another bag behind them to
Mm-hmm.
carry, you know.
Yeah.
And it's really very interesting that everything is also very connected with the childhood.
Okay.
So um, Oprah Winfrey, she did a new book,
Okay.
and there is a very interesting experiment that they did with rats. And the rat baby that is taking out and having stress for 1 minute,
Okay.
put it inside, and 1 week later they take the same rat out and put it in, like for during 2 months maybe.
Okay.
He will have this kind of stress all his life.
Wow.
So it's
Wow.
interesting to notice that this rat is not having the same action like the other rats. The other rats were calmful, they didn't have any stress. So it's very individual because everybody has another childhood. And and it doesn't matter actually. It just what it matters is that you are being your best friend and that you are giving the space for you, that you are doing your way because if you're gonna compare your way with
Yeah.
another person,
Yeah.
then you lost. You lost the
You're
game.
exactly right. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. That has become my kind of my mantra with people. It's like, be kind to yourself, because when we think about how we would be to our best friend, well, some of us are kind of rude. Get over it now. Get up. You're better than that. But for the most part, we will be very kind. We will be very loving. We will be very compassionate. We will be very understanding, and we might even offer some advice. And if we would be that way with ourselves, we would find our way, because it's not like the way is hidden from us.
Yeah.
We just have to allow it or pursue it or go the way that we know. Because I was talking to a friend recently about a really down time and how I want to blame the outside world for it. But now that I'm on this side, I realize, to your point earlier, that was just a story I created that made it that long, that made it that dark. It's because I was creating a story in my head that made it feel that way, instead of, this is what happened, keep living, wake up
Yeah.
and choose gratitude. So, anyway, you reminded me of that being a really important thing, being kind to yourself, being your best friend, as you said it.
And like you said, that's so an important point. I think that to be conscious about that you have this freedom inside of your head to
Mm-hmm.
choose your thoughts, and you
Mm-hmm.
can always choose love. You can always choose a caring, loving thoughts for yourself,
Yeah.
and it doesn't brings you further when you are thinking about a situation again and again and again. You know,
Yeah.
maybe you had this very difficult situation, and then you take your time for to look and to heal, like right. You
Mm-hmm.
really take your time and open up this place
Mm-hmm.
in nature, for example. It's so beautiful to heal in nature because the nature shows you how it grows and shows you how you can be peaceful and you feel like very connected and yeah, you feel. like protected,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time, it's like how can I explain that? Let me think about
Take
the
your time.
word.
It's all good. It's all good. No rush. No worries. I
Let
appreciate
me
it.
think about the words. It's um, so you can always choose your thoughts,
Uh huh.
and if you heal it, like if you had this opportunity to open the space and to feel this emotion,
Mm-hmm.
then go away from it. Like you're letting it go. Don't go back every time to this situation because it was already like awful that you did this experience. Why are you living it again and again and again and
Yes.
again?
Yes.
You're
Yes.
destroying yourself.
Yes.
Be conscious about it that you can choose, for example, to be gratitude, like to feel gratitude.
Yeah.
And that's also very interesting to recognize it and to be conscious about it, that you can
Mhm.
always choose to have a lovely thought.
So funny is I wrote a book called Monday Again,
Mhm.
40 Essentials for a Healthy Lifestyle. And the first section was about choice, that we have the power to choose. I heard one speaker say, I think it was T. Harv Muscle. It's like a choice. It's like a muscle. You have to develop it. So one of the things that I've done is I don't live a minimalist lifestyle, but I'm constantly heading that way. And the idea behind it is that's less choices I have to make so that I can focus on things that are more important and make those choices. But in the book, I talked about not making a choice is still making a choice. That's likely going to be the lower vibration. And so I love that you're reminding us that we we get to choose. It's not forced upon us how we
Yeah.
respond or how we react. It's something that we consciously get to choose. How do you strengthen your ability to make good choices? How in your life, how have you what happened, not necessarily the story of what happened, but at what point did you discover your ability to choose and what how did that open up your life for you?
Well, there are a lot of like I had really two very deep situations. I'm gonna take one of them.
Okay.
That was when my ex-boyfriend broke up with me,
Okay.
and I had my heart was so open, was really in love. I thought he
Mm-hmm.
would be the man of my life,
Mm-hmm.
and I would do everything for him, and I thought he would do the same for me.
Right, right, right.
And then there was a moment that I didn't recognize who he was. Like it was totally somebody else inside of his body.
Yeah.
And I was totally confused, and
Mm-hmm.
I was asking the wrong questions. I was asking, why did it do this? Why did he? Why? But always the focus on him.
Yeah.
And then when I realized, wait a minute, I'm going to choose another question. What's
Okay.
about me? What does make me happy? How can I get out of this situation? How can I practice all the books that I read about self love with
Yes.
myself?
Yes.
And then I asked other questions like, what does my soul need? What does my soul makes me happy?
Mm.
Which kind of people can I attract and be surrounded
Mm-hmm.
to make my soul happier?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a journey. Like I'm learning that every day to choose to do things that makes me happy because it's gonna gives you a lot of endorphins and you're gonna connect with other thoughts,
Yeah.
or to be around people that share this happiness, this kindness, this
Mm-hmm.
having joy for life, like you,
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
inspire me to have other thoughts.
Yeah.
Like if someone comes and asks you, what does make you happy? Like what, where do you feel the most like moment like from happiness? When do you feel a lot of happiness? Just to hearing this question makes you happy, you know.
Yeah.
And if you have the gift to be surrounded people that reminds you every day
Yeah.
and that you can choose this kind of thoughts, then
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny when lately I've been, whenever I talk to people about heartbreak, it's been a real big focus to try to end the story so that they can get their power back. And so one of the things I try to get them to understand is this person is not bad. There's no reason to make this person bad. What we
mm,
need to do is get rid of the story and get present to ourselves and
mm,
the power we have as individuals, and what do we need so that we can return to happiness, so that we can return to love, so that we can return to our natural state.
mm,
Because it's as if temporarily our soul doesn't belong to us anymore, as if someone took it. And it's like, no, that didn't happen. What's happening is you're just hurting yourself instead of being like, that doesn't mean there's not disappointment, because there's truly disappointment,
yeah,
but that's it.
yeah,
And so to hear you start asking those other questions, or like all of us, we've all read something positive. We've all been around positive people and learned positive lessons. In the moments we need them the most, we just forget we ever had it. But I like that you talked about, no, what have I learned about who I am, about my power, about what I have access to, about my ability to be grateful. Like, I love that you went inward to heal,
mm,
which we all have access to.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's
So
good.
true. Thank you for your words. Wow.
That's good. It's what you're sharing, right? It's it's the power we have access to, and without making anybody else wrong. And I think
Yes.
the reason why I go that route now is to make them wrong is a cheap way to try to make me feel better,
Mm,
but also the wrong way,
yeah, yeah, for sure.
which leaves me empty.
It's never a good choice to feel better than making someone bad or look
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's new and exciting in your life? What are you working on now that you want to talk about or share?
Today I had a meeting with my friend Sarah, and
Okay.
it's very interesting how we prepare for the women's circle
Okay.
because we are so connected and this synchronization, like this feeling of being one, is so present in our life when we are together.
Yeah.
So everything flows. So we
Good.
went to do wellness like queens, and then we were, oh, we should do that, right? And this
Yeah.
meditation is also very good. What about doing the cacao ceremony before that? And so everything like flows. So in one, like in 20 minutes, we already have a retreat for 2 weeks.
What?
And yeah, it's
Nice.
really crazy. It's like, it's really very, very fast and very light. And I love that. Um,
Yeah.
And so that one is it's like my heart project, the Women's Circle.
Hmm.
And I do this retreat in the mountains. It's like 1,600
Feet,
kilometers.
feet above sea level.
I don't know about feet in America, but it's like kilometers in Germany. It's very
That
high.
makes
It's in the mountains, and it's like surrounded um, by plants and mountains. So this energy is really, really high. And we eat vegan food. We do
nice.
digital detox, so no cell phone, no laptop, nothing about that.
Question for you, because
Yeah,
you got me intrigued. How many meters above sea level?
1,600.
1,600. Let's see, 1,600 kilometers. Is that right?
No, in kilometers, it's 1,600 kilometers.
Uh-huh. So that is I'm not doing it right. It's a lot of miles though, or it's a lot of feet. It's a lot
Yeah,
of feet. It's a lot of feet. Wow.
high. It's high. It's very,
It's
very
high. It's
high.
high. It's way up there. Okay. So you tell me more about what you do. You're explaining, and I rudely interrupted. Tell me more about what you do there.
So it's all about creating this space to heal. Like everything is welcome. We do it for women to take their time to calm down, to be present, to
Mm-hmm.
find their self, to heal their self, to
Mm-hmm.
love their self.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about finding this gratitude and to recognize that you are loved, that you are
Yeah.
alive, to
Yeah.
recognize that you come from the source and that
Mm-hmm.
everything that you need is inside of you.
Mm.
And it's wonderful. It's really, really magic what's happening there in this women's circle. And every time that I do the retreats, I'm like this for 1 week, like this.
Oh man.
I walk like this, I laugh
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. 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 How many
Yes.
years have you done it?
It's not like it's 1 year now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very
Okay.
recently. Yeah, yes, but it
It's
feels like I did it like my whole life because it fits.
That's really cool. You
Yeah.
found your groove.
Yes. Yes.
Good. Tell
Yes.
me this. Do is do you have a women, I'm sure as they're listening to you and they feel your spirit and they're inspired by you, some of them may want to come. Is it open to women everywhere?
Yeah, like it's open for everyone, like every woman. But I'm also working in a project, and it's called Soul Coaches, and we are 7 coaches, and it's like a shopping mall. And one works with shadow works, like to heal traumas in the past. Another
Nice.
works with nutrition, like with
Yeah.
vegan food. Another
Yeah.
one is with yoga, and we are inside with Women's Circle. And so it's gonna be a good opportunity to connect also with us like online, so you don't have to come to Switzerland.
Okay.
And it's gonna come the 8th of August. It's coming out
August 8th.
August
Okay.
8th. Yeah.
What so lots of people are getting their tax refunds or their investment dividends and they want to travel. So what is the website so I can put it up in case they want to look and perhaps schedule a trip to Switzerland, which by the way, ladies, will be much better than just a shopping trip. Nothing wrong with a shopping trip, but how
Yeah.
about instead of retail therapy, get some real therapy on your soul? So what's the website? And I'll type it up if you tell me.
Like we don't have a website yet.
Okay.
We are just working with Instagram. So our Instagram is a Women's Circle Retreat. Uh,
Women's Circle. So it's at
Women's
Women's
Circle
Circle Retreat.
Retreat. I'm gonna
All
look
right,
at it
I'm
right
gonna
away.
put it up like this right here and like that. Is that right on the screen?
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
yeah,
So, ladies, if you're interested in going to Switzerland and getting your soul touched,
yeah.
Women's
Women's,
Circle Retreat on Instagram.
yeah. But it's all small. Like
Also, yes, and on Instagram, fortunately, that won't
yeah, you will
interrupt it.
find it. Yeah, for sure.
Good, good. Okay, and so in terms of Women's Circle Retreat, and what is the vision from your perspective? What do you want to see, or as your group, what is the outcome that you're looking? Obviously, healing. I know that. Sorry. What is the outcome, or how do you envision the impact of it? What should women anticipate as a
Yeah,
result? Yeah.
like my impact, what my vision is that we can tell, because it's like it's so deep.
Mm,
Um, the feminine divine is something very huge. Like Mother Earth is
hmm.
feminine. Everybody has a mom, you
Yeah.
know.
I'm going to see.
Everybody
Yeah. Yeah.
comes from a woman. Like
Yeah.
we have this wonderful space
Yeah.
that when we allow ourselves to be present and not to think so much,
Yeah.
then the answers will come, you know. And it's about also healing each other as a woman, because they um, sometimes they're like rivalry that woman
Hmm.
doesn't treat another woman good because I don't know, she has a nicer body or she has this back or whatever.
Hmm.
And if we can let this go, because it's so old, you know, it's like
Yeah.
there's another story, but I'm not gonna tell it
Okay.
why
Okay.
we act
Okay.
like
That's all
that.
right.
But it's about to synchronize it and to heal it, because it's so important now in this time to have this feminine energy, because
Hmm.
everything has to be flexible right now. You know,
Hmm.
Corona is here, so you have to do this, and the next time you have to change it, and it's very flexible. And the feminine energy is like intuition, is like water, is like accepting, it's like going through it and let it flow and go this room and this place and to feel inside, you know, and then to act. And the
Mm.
masculine energy is more like line, discipline, make goals, reach goals, go
Yeah.
through it, work hard, you know,
Yeah.
and we are in the
Yeah.
five dimensions, so it means everything can be light. So it's very important to create this feminine field so that
Yeah.
we can use this dimension, you know, and to it's not about working hard to get something. It's
Right.
about to open up yourself. And when I
Yes.
talk about feminine energy, it's not just the woman that has this feminine energy.
Absolutely not. That's right. That's right.
This feminine energy is inside of everyone, like the masculine feminine is
That's
also
correct.
inside of
That's
everyone.
correct.
So it's about to have a balance and to realize, when can I use more masculine? When can I use
Hmm.
more feminine? It's
Hmm.
like yin and yang. It's like surfing, you know? It's like
Yeah.
surfing and finding a way to use both
Yeah. Yeah.
and to find a balance.
Yeah. It's good. It's really good. I was talking to a friend the other day, yesterday, and we were talking about how the way culture has happened, or modern Western culture at least, women are really pushed more to um, feminism to the degree of masculine energy, as compared to feminism with being very comfortable with feminine energy at the same time,
Hmm.
which is such a beautiful thing. And how she's like, no, I'm not on that. She's doing very well for herself, very well. But she's aware that that's just business. I want to be in my feminine energy and feel relaxed and at ease with who I am. And I
Hmm.
thought that was so beautiful to hear her talk about that. Someone who's very accomplished. So she
Hmm.
knows how to use the goal setting and the masculine energy things in a way that benefits her, but doesn't disrupt who she is.
Hmm.
So in my mind, as I was listening to you, women who go to this women's circle retreat have the opportunity to tap back into their feminine energy and
Hmm.
breathe and live from a space of wholeness
Hmm.
without fearing having to give up anything, which
Yeah.
is amazing and makes the world work.
Hmm.
Because when I look at boy energy, we can tear some stuff up after a while.
Yeah.
Because it's like mine, 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 no mine, no mine, instead
Yeah.
of breathing and
Yeah.
exchanging and allowing. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's huge.
Yeah, and allowing. ourselves to be and not putting the focus on having something.
Right. As if having's anything of value. I was talking to one of my best friends last night. Him and I were talking about this idea of having.
Mhm.
Eh, eh, None of it stays. None of it goes with us. And
Yeah.
to try to use all of our energy to focus on just having, what a waste of who we
Mhm.
are.
Mhm.
If every waking, wait a minute. No wonder we only laugh 150 days out of our entire life because we spend so much time trying to get something instead of being something.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly.
It's good. It's good. What else? Is there anything else you want to leave us with or share before we start wrapping up?
Um, no, just yeah, just to give you your time, and especially when you are starting to get in this journey to allowing yourself to feel,
Hmm.
the most people are like, why didn't I do that before? Why did I speak to myself so terrible for so
Yeah.
long time?
Yeah.
That's like an energy that's very low. It's lower than 200. And you say like everything that's above 200 is like happiness, thankful, joy, love. It's high vibration, like 500.
Yeah.
And everything that's under 200 is like shame. It's like sadness. It's like
Mm-hmm.
fear, anger. And, and if you are judging yourself for being hard during all this time, you're not gonna reach this 500.
It's not possible.
And what really makes, like, what helps is it's like to tell, you know what, that was a good guess. Why not?
Yeah.
Why didn't, like, it could be that it works, but it didn't work. But so what? We are here to express ourselves and to make experience.
Yes.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's totally okay. We were trying this way. It didn't
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So try another way. Forget about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as you wake up, you're having a new chance to choose
Yeah.
a new way.
Yes. 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 Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, I would like
Yes.
to share this.
I am you, you are me. I
Exactly.
have been thinking about the reality that everyone is doing the best they can, no matter what it looks like. And
Yeah.
to just allow, I mean, the person that harms the other person, they're doing the best they can at the vibration level that they are. That doesn't mean it's okay, but
Hmm.
I don't have to sit around and spend time on that.
Yeah.
Or as you said, and I was the king of self-judgment, right? I have many reasons: religion, um, my own expectations of myself. I would judge myself, and what I found was the more I judged myself, the harder it was to rise because I wouldn't let myself. It almost felt like I had to punish myself because I was judging myself, which
Hmm.
is so backwards thinking,
Hmm.
so backwards thinking. And
Yeah.
now that I love myself unconditionally,
Yeah.
life is so much more beautiful. It's so much more light. It's so much more easy. And no, I don't have everything I want, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. I
Mhm.
look for quality in my experiences, and they feel really good as I'm trotting through life, figuring it out as I go. I don't have this sense of, that's it, I won. I just have the sense of, what's winning look like today? Can I be present with myself today? Can I spend my day with the people I
Mhm.
love or the people I don't know,
Yeah.
friends that aren't friends yet, and end and find peace throughout? Has been my focus, and it feels a
Beautiful.
lot easier.
Beautiful. Very beautiful. Yeah, and it's really a journey. Like, I'm not telling that because I'm I'm like the queen and I don't have to work on it. It's no, it's like taking care of a garden. You can say, "Oh, now it's everything is planned, and I don't need to look after that." It's done. No, you have to work on it and do it with love because it's your life, and you'll never have such a long relationship than with yourself.
That's true.
So
That's very
take
true.
the time, and everybody is trying to do their own job and try to connect, with
Yeah.
your heart every
Yeah.
time, more and more, and it will get lighter and lighter and lighter
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
lighter.
It's
Yeah,
good. Well, thank you. As always, whenever we
you.
connect, it's peaceful. Is there any last thoughts you'd like to share, or just tell
Yes,
people how they can follow you? What would you like to share before we go?
I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart
Ah, you're so welcome.
that that
Don't
I met you, that you're giving me the space, that you're like um that you are helping other people to go their way to shine. Like you have such a beautiful presence,
thank you.
and
Yeah.
I'm really really happy to have you as a friend, and
Same.
I
Same.
thank you for this place, the space, and your lovely questions, and yeah, I'm so thankful.
Well, thank you, because your phrase "I am you, you are me" is why this show exists. Because if other people can thrive in their life, then they won't be looking to harm me. They'll be looking to help me. And if I thrive, I'll be looking to help them and help
Mm,
somebody else.
mm,
So the whole focus of the show is to help us all see how amazing we already are and
mm,
to live from that place, from that upper vibration, moving upward, not moving downward, not staying the same, but moving upward in our awareness of who we are or our awareness of our connection so that we
mm.
can all be happy together.
Yes.
Thank you. Hang out for just a second. I'm going to put you in the green room. I'll be back in just a moment. I want to thank everyone, and I'll catch up with you in a moment, okay?
Okay.
All right. There you have it. Another amazing, thriving Thursday. The information shared today, phenomenal. I hope you listen, share, and reshare because you don't know whose life it will impact. And if you listen closely, it might be yours. I got a quick shout out today. It's my mom's birthday. Just want to say happy birthday, mama. I love you so much. Wish I could be with you. Someday I will. We'll celebrate and hang out soon, but I know my sister's taking good care of you. Love you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, until next week, Marquise Martin Hayes. Continue to thrive.